Ellen DeGeneres was once the face of daytime television, the beloved goofy aunt who spread joy and laughter across the nation. Her show, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, was known for its heartwarming dance moves, generous giveaways, and an infectious "be kind to one another" mantra. But just as quickly as her star rose, it seemed to plummet into scandal. Allegations of a toxic workplace environment behind the scenes, bullying, and manipulative behavior led to a career downfall that left fans shocked and disillusioned. Ellen's carefully crafted persona, built on the premise of kindness and positivity, crumbled as the reality of her behavior behind closed doors came to light. In this video, we'll explore how Ellen's rise to fame was followed by an equally dramatic fall, and the impact it has had on her career and legacy. The Be Kind facade. Ellen's early career and image construction. Ellen DeGeneres' rise to fame wasn't an overnight success. Her journey began in the gritty comedy clubs of Louisiana, before she made her way to late-night talk shows. The likes of Johnny Carson and David Letterman helped build her reputation, but it was her sitcom in the 90s that solidified her place in Hollywood. Her show Ellen was groundbreaking for more than just its humor. It marked a monumental moment when the lead character, Ellen Morgan, came out as gay. This was a rare moment of representation on network television, and it earned Ellen numerous accolades. However, the victory was short-lived. The homophobic backlash was swift, and by 1998, Ellen was canceled. Ellen, however, didn't let this setback define her. Instead, she reinvented herself and went on to become the queen of daytime television, using her personal story of overcoming adversity to connect with her audience. In hindsight, Ellen's "Be Kind" mantra felt almost too perfect. It was the antithesis of the cynical world of showbiz until, of course, cracks began to appear. Ellen's image was tightly controlled. She was the friendly, approachable talk show host who made us laugh and feel good. But the behind-the-scenes reality seemed far from that. Staff members began to speak out about their mistreatment, hinting that Ellen's sunny persona was just a mask for darker behavior. This revelation raised the question: how much of Ellen's persona was just a well-executed marketing tool? Ellen's rise, breaking barriers and facing backlash. It wasn't all bad for Ellen, of course. Despite the show's cancellation in the late 90s, she remained a prominent figure. Ellen returned to the entertainment scene with Pixar's Finding Nemo in 2003, voicing the forgetful but lovable Dory. The film became an instant hit, giving Ellen a much-needed boost in her career. Her popularity continued to skyrocket when she launched The Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2003. The show quickly became a massive success, known for its heartwarming moments, hilarious games, and generous giveaways. Ellen was a force to be reckoned with in the daytime talk show circuit, competing against heavyweights like Oprah and The View. However, the show was not without its controversies. The atmosphere behind the scenes began to raise eyebrows as early as 2007. When the writers' strike took place, Ellen chose to continue filming instead of standing in solidarity with her writers. Other talk show hosts, like Conan O'Brien and Jon Stewart, went dark in support of the strike, while Ellen opted to keep the show running without her writers. This decision set off the first major alarm bells regarding her true nature. Ellen's team was soon accused of mistreating staff and fostering a toxic work environment, but the damage had been contained, and the show continued to run smoothly for many years. The birth of Be Kind, a shield for a more complex reality. Throughout the early 2010s, Ellen's show continued to be an overwhelming success. She created an image of generosity and kindness, hosting massive giveaways and raising millions for charity. But as the years passed, cracks started to appear in this seemingly perfect public image. Ellen's interactions with her guests began to raise concerns, as she displayed a level of control and manipulation behind the scenes that didn't align with her on-screen persona. Celebrities, who once raved about Ellen's friendly demeanor, began to speak out about the uncomfortable and often humiliating encounters they had with her during interviews. Perhaps one of the most infamous moments came when Mariah Carey appeared on the show in 2008, and Ellen, knowing full well that Carey was pregnant, pushed her into publicly confirming it. Despite Carey's explicit requests not to address the pregnancy rumors, Ellen pressed on, offering her champagne and joking about not being pregnant. The moment felt more like a gotcha, where Ellen seemed to relish in the discomfort of her guest. This pattern of making her guests uncomfortable continued throughout the years, creating an environment where Ellen held all the power and celebrities were often left feeling belittled. The dark side of Ellen, behind the scenes of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. As Ellen's reputation continued to grow, so did the stories of mistreatment behind the scenes. From 2019 onwards, several employees came forward with allegations of emotional abuse, racism, and sexual harassment within the production of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. These revelations were part of a larger cultural reckoning on workplace abuse, and they couldn't be ignored. The allegations against Ellen's top producers, some of whom were fired in the wake of the scandal, cast a shadow over the show's legacy. Ellen's inability to maintain control of the show's environment, or even acknowledge the mistreatment of her staff, seemed to contradict everything she had built her career on. By 2020, social media became a key player in unraveling the truth about Ellen's toxic workplace. Stories that were once buried in Hollywood were now being amplified, and it became impossible for Ellen to ignore the growing wave of criticism. In one awkward moment, Ellen's close friend Dakota Johnson called her out live on the show, exposing the cracks in Ellen's public image. This moment, combined with the increasing allegations, marked the beginning of the end for Ellen's reign as the queen of daytime talk. Ellen struggled to stay relatable, a battle for public approval. As Ellen's career advanced, maintaining her relatable image became more challenging. While she worked hard to project the image of an approachable, down-to-earth celebrity, the cracks started to show in her behavior. What once seemed like a fun, quirky personality turned into a relentless need for validation and control. Ellen's attempts to stay relevant in an ever-changing entertainment landscape meant constantly adjusting her public persona. But with every attempt to please the public, she seemed to distance herself from the very people she once connected with. The dark truth behind Ellen's charitable facade. Ellen's brand was built on charity and goodwill. Whether it was giving away cars, making massive donations, or celebrating her fans, she became known as one of the most generous stars in Hollywood. But as the truth about her workplace behavior came to light, people began to question whether these charitable acts were simply a distraction, a way to cover up her more sinister actions behind the scenes. Was it all a ploy to maintain the image of kindness? Or was Ellen genuinely trying to make a difference? The truth may never be fully known, but the perception of her charitable acts has forever been tainted. Ellen's departure, a quiet exit, and the final reckoning. By the time The Ellen DeGeneres Show ended in 2021, Ellen's carefully crafted persona had been dismantled. The global reckoning for harassment in the workplace, combined with Ellen's own history of manipulation, led to her show being canceled. Ellen took a step back from the spotlight and retreated from Hollywood, moving to rural England with her wife, Portia de Rossi, to escape the noise and rebuild her life. In 2024, she released a Netflix special where she admitted to being kicked out of show business for being mean, acknowledging her past mistakes in a rare moment of self-reflection. Despite the damage to her public image, Ellen's exit from the limelight left many wondering whether she could ever reclaim her former status. With her departure from Hollywood, she seems content to live a quieter life, away from the intense scrutiny and pressure that once defined her career. But even in retirement, Ellen's legacy remains a cautionary tale about the dangers of hiding behind a persona and the consequences of failing to live up to the image we present to the world. And there you have it, folks. Ellen DeGeneres, the Queen of Kindness, until the curtain fell. If you've enjoyed watching the fall of a daytime titan, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button faster than Ellen can drop a dance move. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're the first to know when we drop more juicy celeb secrets. Stay kind. Unless, of course, you're Ellen, then maybe just be real.